Grace thinks she's marrying the perfect man until the night of the wedding, when her new husband, Jack, disappears and doesn't return until the next day, when it's time to leave for the honeymoon. Grace, has she made the right decision? The book, Behind Closed Doors, the author, B.A. Paris, and you're listening to Lit Society.
Let's get lit.
Let's get lit! Hi, readers. This is Alexis.
And this is Kari.
And you're listening to Lit Society, a podcast about books and a little bit of drama.
You said her husband disappeared.
Disappeared. He sure did.
Yeah.
Listen. Ignored the accent. I was just trying to say something, okay? He disappeared.
Right.
Y'all, we on Patreon. Because of your continued support, we can keep bringing you content.
I don't know why you went to Europe to talk like you from the South, but yeah, we appreciate it. We do appreciate it. We reckon. For sure.
We do. Listen, can you share information about our author and some context for this book?
Yeah, I'll start with the author. B.A. Harris ain't even her real name.
Girl. Who is surprised? Raise your hand if you are.
Yeah, that's not even a good pretend name, B.A.
Raise your hand if you're surprised, please.
Well, listen, her real name is Bernadette McDougall. She's a French-British writer of fiction, mainly in the psychological thriller subgenre. Can you guess what her debut novel was?
The book we're reading today, right?
It was. Mm-hmm. It was. So this is the first book she's ever written. She's very interesting in that way because this debut novel turned to be a New York Times bestseller, Sunday Times bestseller. It's been translated in over 40 languages and has sold more than 3.5 million copies worldwide. Do you know when she began writing?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, you look, but you do know some stuff about her.
I do know some stuff about her.
You know, we're often told Toni Morrison didn't start writing till she was 50. And so 40.
That's right, 50.
Sorry, little Freudian slip. Toni didn't start writing till she was 40. And so there's hope for us all. Well, This lady, B.A., didn't start until she was 50 years old. One of her daughters was like, you should write for this competition that they saw advertised in a magazine. And while she didn't win the competition, it did lead her to write this novel. And again, it was a bestseller. She published it in HarperCollins Publishers in the UK, St. Martin's Press in the US. B.A. Paris is, girl, that ain't no name. That might mean something to her, though. And so that's fine. I'll call her Paris.
You're not
Paris's debut novel. Name? Yeah, I said Bernadette McDougall.
Oh, I missed that. I heard it. I just forgot. I didn't care. I like B.A.
All right. So this novel was picked up in 2014 by her agent. And upon being published the following year by, again, HarperCollins, the book quickly became the bestseller that it is today. She was nominated in the Best Debut Author and Best Mystery and Thriller categories of the Goodreads Choice Awards of 2016. And in 2017, Behind Closed Doors won the Gold Nielsen Bestseller Award for UK sales of 500,000 plus copies. That is so hard, you guys, to sell 500,000 books and then for it to be your debut novel and you're not a career writer. Kudos to you, B.A.
Yep.
So, now she lives in the UK with like 5 daughters and a husband. Now, let me just give you the list of books she's written since then. So Behind Closed Doors, published in 2016. Then The Breakdown, which I think has a movie option. That was published in 2017. You saw that?
I didn't see the movie.
But is the movie out already?
I don't think it's out. I think it's they're going to start production on it this year.
Okay. Then there's a book called Bring Me Back, published in 2018. These are consecutive years. Okay. She's just throwing out books. Actually, all of these are consecutive years except one. The Understudy, The dilemma, the therapist, the prisoner. Then she gets into the bag, the therapist, the prisoner, and the guest, published this year, 2024. And that's what I have on BA. So, Alexis, who do you think? We don't want to say too much about how we felt about the book, but who do you think may enjoy a book like this?
I think The Perfect Nanny. When I heard that question, that's the book that came up. The Perfect Nanny by Leila Salmani.
And we covered that book last year. It is a French novel, and it's interesting. I actually thought of that book too. Thank you for jogging my memory.
Interesting.
Because B.A. Paris is a Franco-British writer. And I think there's a sensibility to French writing that is captured well in this story.
Why did you select this book?
I chose this book because it is on a list of best-selling mysteries, and a few friends in real life who I also follow on Goodreads read this book. And so I thought, let me dip my toe into the proverbial pool. And I've been reading a lot of
I heard
mysteries.
You shouldn't do that anyway. But go ahead.
What, shouldn't do what?
Dip your toe in pools.
Why? Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
A lot of the novels I've been reading lately have just not hit to me. And so I'm hungry for a thriller that really captivates me with, if it's going to have a twist, an actually good one. And so I thought maybe this will be good. You know, a few of my friends ranked it highly. And so here we are.
Wait, first tell me, what do you think is a high rating? What's considered high?
4.
A 4 out of 5? 4?
A 4 out of 5.
Anything less than 4 is not considered high. Is that right?
To me, and this is just to me because I don't know what everyone's ranking is like. For me, if you see the books that I'm ranking on Goodreads, 5 is Anna Karenina, always. Or The Warmth of Other Suns for a nonfiction. Those are 5 books. 4 is well above average. That is Drowning by, what's her name? TJ?
TJ Newman.
TJ Newman, Drowning, which we covered last week. That's a 4 for me. 3 is like, I'll never read it again.
Okay.
But it was okay.
Okay, gotcha. That's enough for me.
2 is like, I actually don't care for this book. This is The Thursday Murder Club is a 2 for me now. And a 1 is, this book should have never been published. That is No Exit, which I just read. That's Uglies by Scott Westfield. Usually when it's a 1, I don't even want to talk about it again.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't bring it up to you, and I hope you don't bring it up to me.
Not even accidentally.
Nope. Home is Where the Bodies Are. That's a 1.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Well,
in
that's
my
good.
opinion. Okay.
Thank you for sharing your opinion, Kari.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it's time for us to take a spoiler-filled deep dive into Behind Closed Doors. What do you think?
I think so. I agree.
All right, let's do it, Kari.
If you're listening at home, perhaps it's morning time, go ahead and grab a cup of coffee, wrap a blanket around your shoulders. If it's in the afternoon, evening, even better. Put your feet up and let's get into this. Now, I would like to start with a content warning. We are going to talk about unaliving oneself or threatening to. We're going to talk about domestic abuse. We are going to talk about sadistic behavior. Let us begin. Part 1, A Perfect Marriage. A champagne bottle knocks against the marble kitchen counter, but Jack doesn't seem to mind. Grace breathes a sigh of relief. The guests are waiting eagerly for the woman of the house, who enters nervously. She needs tonight to be perfect. The home is beautiful, by the way, and Rufus compliments them while Esther, his wife, says nothing. They're new to the area, Rufus and Esther. They're the most recent additions to this circle of friends, and perhaps they're just trying to process who all these people are, okay? Jack chose the house. It was a wedding present. How would you like that, Alexis?
Oh, a house? Yeah, give me a house. I love it.
I agree. Unless it's ugly, then how dare you? But this house is beautiful. Large grounds, the most beautiful and secure house in the area, complete with surveillance cameras.
Ooh.
One of Grace's paintings hangs in the room that they're all sitting in, and Jack brags about her. You should see her other paintings, he says. Grace is a painter. Diane points out that Grace keeps standing her up for lunch dates. Grace, I keep asking you out for lunch with the girls, and then like at the last minute you flake out. I've noticed that. What's up with that?
Mm-hmm.
Truly, Grace feels guilty. She knows she'll never join Diane for lunch. It ain't never gonna happen, no matter how often she agrees. Silently, and not so silently, the guests are wondering how Grace finally tied down a man like Jack. Oh, he fine.
He fine.
Jack is fine. Jack got a good job. He a lawyer. How did you meet again?
Yeah.
One of them asks.
And like, he's an older man too. So he ain't young. She got this older man, been single for a long time. And
he don't even bring women by. And then he just showed up with this woman he wanted to marry. They like, woo.
She bagged him, y'all. She bagged him.
She's about 31, 32. He's about 40. So how did they meet? Alexis, do you remember this story?
Yeah, so a little bit. She was at a park. I feel like there was a concert or something going on, but she was with her younger sister, and her younger sister was kind of dancing around, enjoying the sounds, and
dancing at a park. That's what one of the guests say.
Right?
Dancing
at a park. Yeah, enjoying herself. I feel like it was music, and I can't remember exactly. But then this gentleman, Grace, the hostess, was starting to feel a little embarrassed and felt like she needed to sit her sister down. But then this little fine man walks up and dances with her sister. And she's like, oh, that's so cute. And so they meet.
Yeah, and this isn't like the West Side by where I live. This is London. So they all about propriety. So you don't just be getting up, dancing.
You must want attention if you do.
What Grace lets everyone know, to their shame, is that her sister Millie has Down syndrome. And so it's very special for Jack, not even knowing them, to dance with Millie. It meant the world to her and to her sister. Okay? The fact that Grace would do anything for Millie is part of the reason why I fell in love with her. That's what Jack says. He gushes, staring at Grace as he says it. We now learn that what Jack does for work specifically. Yes, he's a lawyer, but what kind of lawyer, Alexis?
He is a lawyer in support of women who have been abused by their husbands.
Yeah. And he's never lost a case.
Never once.
Jack champions the underdogs, specifically battered wives. I have nothing but contempt for men who are violent towards women. They deserve what they get, he says. And again, he's never lost a case. Back to Millie. So she will soon be leaving for boarding school, and their parents have already expatriated to New Zealand. Are these bad parents, Alexis?
Do you call them bad? They don't want children.
Maybe they're just French. Listen, they got kids. So I think for parents to not want children makes them bad parents. I don't know. It's my opinion. If you a parent and you don't want kids, you're a bad parent.
Yeah. Well, so I got to kind of disagree with you there because you can not want children, have them, and then treat them well, like you love them.
Almost like you want them.
Almost
because they're
like
here
you
now
want them.
And you love them.
Absolutely. But
when I am saying if they are here,
parents.
Exactly. These are the other parents. They kids is here now and they still don't want them. So Millie will move in with Jack and Grace. Jack is her favorite person, Millie. She used to be jealous of him when she realized she had to split Grace's time with this man. But now she loves him. The only man she hates now is who, Alexis?
George Clooney.
That's right. She hates George Clooney. How random, you might think. Yes.
You might.
She can't stop telling everyone how much she loves Jack and how much she hates George Clooney. Apparently, by the way, Jack is much better looking than Clooney.
Oh.
They really laying it on thick in this book.
Get a load of that.
In her single days, Grace was a buyer for Harrods, traveling the world buying their produce and food goods. This is an enviable job, okay?
Yeah,
it was a job a million girls would kill for.
Ooh.
Now, she's a housewife, surrounded by anything she could ever need. By request, they show their guests their honeymoon photos from Thailand. Or in Thailand. Grace looks like perfection, and the photos look as if they came out of a magazine. Okay, this is truly the perfect couple.
Mm-hmm.
The night is a success, and Grace needs to remind Jack that it indeed is a success. So Grace looks at him and reminds him they must be prepared to visit Millie at her school tomorrow. When she met Jack Angel, Grace was 32 years old and resigned to the fact that she'd never meet a decent guy. She still remembers the day she overheard her mom, at 46 years old, discussing an abortion with her father. Grace convinced her parents to keep the child that would become Millie. They couldn't handle the responsibility. They lacked interest, severely. They never wanted kids, her mom said to her daughter. Now, Grace's motherly relationship with Millie just happened. As soon as she saw Millie, it was like that little girl was hers.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's not, it's her mom's. That's her sister, but that's okay. Her parents are cold. They're not unkind in a way, but they are in that they have literally just retired, moved to their dream location in New Zealand and was like, goodbye, kids, forever.
And then just early on, although the mom kept the baby, Millie, she wanted to give her up for adoption at 3 months. And Grace stopped her from doing that, promising to care for Millie as if she were her own.
Yes. And in fact, she is legal guardian now of Millie, I believe. So when Jack first met Grace's parents, do you remember what he said?
He said they're perfect.
They're perfect. And then immediately he proposed. Wherever we live, there will always be a place for Millie, he reassured Grace. Grace was worried about how she'd care for Millie and if she could continue working long hours at Harrods, which included a lot of travel, right? But her sister has special needs, so she needs someone there constantly. She really didn't know what the next chapter of her life would be like once Millie graduated from boarding school, turning 18. But with Jack's proposal, all of those concerns were alleviated.
Yeah.
With just those few words, will you marry me?
It's like a savior, wouldn't you say?
Girl, yes. Indeed. Well, yes. She felt like the most fortunate woman in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, Grace gets out of the car and Jack watches closely as she greets Millie. This is after the dinner party, present day. They couldn't come earlier because Grace is often ill, he reminds Millie.
Mm-hmm.
Millie wants to walk along the lake with her sister, but Jack insists he joins them. Millie glares at him and lets him know, I like you, Jack, but I don't like George Clooney. Okay, little girl with Down syndrome. Yeah, sure. That's what he doing.
That's what he doing.
Mm-hmm. I know you don't, says Jack. He's ugly, says Millie. Yes, he's ugly. Millie bursts into laughter. Flashback. So this is a book that does flashback and present day settings. Did this bother you at all, Alexis?
No, I didn't. And you know, I don't like that stuff.
It is woven seamlessly through the story. We like it when it's done well.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, girl on the train. Okay. So, also winking at you a little bit, silent patient. Oh, yeah. So, good job, you. Bad job, you. Okay. So, anyway, flashback to days before their wedding. Jack buys Grace a house and a very cute puppy to keep her company while he's working all day. I think the puppy's named Molly.
Yes.
So it'll be so Molly cute. And Millie.
Yeah.
So cute. At home eventually. So cute.
So cute.
But who will watch the pup while they're on their honeymoon? He's already thought of that. He's hired a housekeeper that will watch both the house and the puppy. Oh, he is so perfect. Mm-hmm. Grace never felt more beautiful than when she put on her wedding dress for the first time. Seemingly unable to wait any longer, he met her before the ceremony. And she's like, "You're not supposed to see me." He's like, "I couldn't help it. You're just so gorgeous." So,
and he had a gift for her. He had a gift for her.
Absolutely. A gift he could have gave her after the wedding.
He wanted to have it before so she could wear it.
Totally. They exit the car. It's him, her, and Millie. To the surprise of the waiting guests. Like, you don't expect the bride and groom to come out of the same car for their wedding. Tacky. So anyway, Grace was almost at the top of the stairs, ready to get married, before she looked to her side and found Millie tumbling down that long flight of stairs.
Yeesh.
She smacked the bottom, was unconscious with a broken leg.
Ugh.
Jack was white as a sheet.
Horrified that happened.
Her parents urged her, "Grace, get married. Millie would have wanted you to. We'll rush her to the hospital." So now neither her parents nor Millie are in her wedding or at the ceremony. Yeah, they left with Millie, and Grace got married to avoid disappointing her future husband and guests. She's a people pleaser. Present day. Jack drives Grace to a lunch appointment with Esther. She's really going. He'll be joining them. It's a surprise for everyone, including Grace.
Yeah, that's a bit much, right?
How will we talk about you? This is for girls.
Girls get together.
How will we talk about you now, Jack? Jokes Esther. We learn a few things during this lunch as the reader. We learn that for the first time in her life, Grace wishes Millie wasn't dependent on her. We don't know what that means yet. We also learn that Millie has never seen the new house, even though they moved in a year ago. They want everything to be perfect first, according to Jack.
Perfect.
Perfect. So perfect. Millie's room will be red, according to Jack, because that's Millie's favorite color. Red. Red is Millie's favorite color, and so her room will be red. Yay!
Yay, red!
Grace doesn't own a cell phone. Can I tell you?
Wait, what?
When I first got married, my husband and I shared a cell phone. I thought it would be like, why would we need two cell phones?
But that was a different time, wasn't it?
No, it was foolish. No, it was not. How old you think I am? No, I was just cheap.
But you had already had a cell phone. So did you give that up?
No, we kept my phone and it became our phone. We didn't know. We thought we was saving money. Anyway, that didn't last
Young
long.
love and I won't go
and
on.
old bills. No, I'm just kidding.
I would not go on with that thought. Please.
But Grace does, that lasted like a month. But Grace doesn't have a cell phone and she doesn't think she needs one. Esther is appalled. She's like truly disgusted and shocked. Like, you a housewife without a cell phone? What is going on? Jack, why haven't you bought this woman a phone? And Jack raises his hands and he's like, I'd buy her one, but I know she never use it. So
why would I do that? That's a waste of money. Kind of like what Kari and him was thinking. Waste of money.
Right. This is a waste of money. Esther is like, this ain't cute. Girl, what if something happened? And they talk about something else and she go back to the phone like, but what if you need to call him? And then they answer that question and the breadsticks come out and she'll be like, girl, what if you fall and break your leg? She don't like this, okay? So how does anyone reach Grace? Grace is like, well, you can always email me. And Esther's like, okay, what's your email? Girl, jackangel@gmail.com, something like that. And she's like, that's Jack's address. And Grace is like, yeah, well, we share the same email address. And Esther's like, okay, listen.
She said, this is too much.
Esther goes, if you need to reach out to me, let me give you my number. You got a pen? And Grace is like, I might have one, knowing she don't. And Esther goes, that's okay. I'll just tell you my number. It's 555. And she gives her full number clearly, repeating some of the digits. Remember it, Grace, she tells her. I like Esther.
Already.
When they get into the car to leave, Jack calls Grace perfect. She didn't even eat dessert, though. depriving him of pleasure. Huh? It's a weird statement.
She did. She shared it with the other girl.
She did not eat her dessert.
Oh, I thought she shared some of it. She shared some. She didn't eat all of it. She just ate a little bit of it.
Was. Okay. Back to their wedding day. Let's go back in time again. Their honeymoon night was baffling. Do you remember why, Alexis?
Well, when she went in the bathroom to, freshen up for their night together, she came out of the bathroom and he wasn't there.
Oh, did he go out to get potato chips?
Girl, he did not come back until the next day. And he didn't tell her why.
Grace is frantic, as anyone would be. I've already said on the show, when my friends or family aren't where I expect them to be, I just assume that they gone forever. They have been overtaken by the local mass murderer. And so let me just call the police. Then they call, be like, no, I was at the gas station. I'll be like, whoo, thank goodness. So that's how Grace is feeling. Her new husband is not in their honeymoon suite. She talks to staff. She doesn't want them to think she's crazy or freaking out. And it's kind of embarrassing. My new husband won't come to my room. You seen him? Okay.
That is odd.
She runs out to the parking lot. His car is gone. She, again, shamefully explains her predicament to staff. Once she goes out to the parking lot, though, and doesn't see his car, she takes another entrance inside because she don't want to pass the same staff. She's full of shame and she don't even really know why.
Are you not embarrassed?
She's embarrassed. She realized soberingly that she has no friends to call in this moment. She's distanced herself from her girlfriends, as some women do once they start dating. But finally, Jack texts her. Do you remember what the text message said, Alexis?
Well, after her text, he said, you overreacting a bit.
He said, stop being hysterical. It doesn't suit you. She's left him multiple voicemails going from soft to, again, hysterical.
Frantic.
Yeah, frantic. The next morning, she wakes up and he is still not there. She wakes up into an empty bed. Who was this person, Grace thought, as she flooded her mind with excuses for him. He's got a demanding, important job.
Yeah.
No doubt something with work came up. When he finally arrived, when he finally arrived, he offered no apology. Grace got into the car with him, believing they would see her sister at the hospital. Remember, Millie just broke her leg and fell down a whole flight of stairs.
She's her caretaker, right?
Exactly. And she love her. It's a million reasons to go see your sister. Their honeymoon's going to be in Thailand, so she definitely want to see her before then. But she realizes Jack is passing the exit for the hospital and heading straight to the airport. And she's like, what are you doing? He's like, we don't have time. What? He pulls over. She's in tears and she's like, surely you see how important this is to me and we have plenty of time. And then he makes her make a choice. You want to see Millie? You can. But I am going straight to the airport. What would you do at this point, Alexis?
Interesting. I thought about this and I'm like, well, that's my husband now. But he wasn't there last night. So I think I got to get out of the car. I'm thinking, I've never been in that situation before. So this is just imaginary. And I think I have to get out of the car because I'm her primary caretaker on legal documents. So I need to go at least check up on her.
Girl, is that what's motivating you to get out of the car? Your legal obligations?
My legal obligation. And, that's my husband. So I'm in love with this man. Even though he wasn't there last night, this is tough decision. I think I got to go check on my sister though.
I would agree with you. I don't even know this man. Yes, we got married. Yes, I love him. Yada, yada. That is my sister. I ain't even got a sister. That is my sister. She is mentally, what am I trying to say? She has Down syndrome and a broken leg, and I am her caregiver, and I love her.
Yeah,
Now,
his primary concern.
You have something going on where you decide not to come home to the hotel. You decide to pass up the hospital. You got something going on right now. And I'm still here for you over there with my sister at the hospital. I'm going to spend your money to get from here to the hospital because you made me quit my job, which obviously she wanted to. But
get off on the street right here and walk to the hospital.
Fine. Go to Thailand. I ain't never even been to Thailand. I'll go another day.
Yeah.
I don't even know you like that. How long have they been together?
A year.
That's my whole
1 year. I have known her for at least 17 and a half years or 17 years. 16 and a half.
What I think this book does well, though, is always tries to put you in the shoes of Grace. She doesn't have a job anymore. She has agreed to be a stay-at-home wife. Her source of income, not just for her, but for Millie, who requires more care, which is pricey, is coming from Jack.
Mm-hmm.
He holds all the purse strings and has all of the control. Anyway, back to the book.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Look, get out. And she goes, why are you doing this?
Ooh, the dilemma.
He goes, and this is the part where I really would have stepped out. Do I mean that little to you? Because he manipulated me right here on this day.
Because you know it's manipulation when you're going to throw that in there like that. Of course you mean something to me, but this don't make sense.
We can't even go look at her, make sure she's still breathing.
Drive past and wave. You won't even let me do that.
And then he put it in black and white. Your husband or your sister? Haven't I been patient? Haven't I been kind? He asked. Yes, Jack, you have. Who do you choose? You, Jack. I choose you.
But I thought it was odd that he brought up her Down syndrome in his, you have a choice.
I have been so patient with your sister that has Down syndrome.
Yeah, why would you say that?
Why would you say that?
What? When did her having Down syndrome become a problem? For you.
This is the thing. Oh, thank you for carrying the burden of my sister's Down syndrome. And can I tell you, Millie good.
You just met her.
She good. Okay. She's right now in a boarding home. You haven't been caring for her.
No.
You haven't been, you know what I mean? Like,
that was weird to me. That was so weird. Why would you say that?
We go to lunch sometimes. Mm-hmm. That's it. And you danced with her in that park that first time we met. But anyway.
No commitment.
Thank you, he concluded. Grace called her mom and left a message saying she made a mistake with the time of their flight and wouldn't be able to see Millie after all.
So now you forcing me to make up stories and tell the people I love. That's the red flag.
As a woman, we often get forced to do certain things. This is a choice. You are choosing to lie.
She did choose. She did.
To your mama.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I would call my mom and go, look, I got to be frank with you. I raised your daughter, and that's my pleasure because I love my sister. But the truth is, she is your responsibility first and foremost. And you and my daddy's just going to have to take me and my sister in New Zealand, that nice house I know y'all got. I don't care if it's got 1 bedroom. We all going to be living in there until I get back on my feet. And me and Millie can do something else because this man acting crazy. Okay.
Sometimes embarrassment causes you to make decisions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And some people's parents love to embarrass them or make them feel like they don't measure up. And in this case, her parents are so detached. She wants to feel independent from them because they are not reliable people for her or her sisters. So good job, Paris, B.A. Paris, for helping us to see things in this impossible situation from Grace's point of view. So Grace leaves that voicemail for her mom. I made a mistake. The flight leaves earlier than I thought. I'm not going to be able to see Millie after all. Jack then turns into the kind man she knows him to be. He takes her hand. They walk to the front desk. He explains to the service desk representative that the night they've had has been horrible. Their bridesmaid, who has Down syndrome, fell and wound up in the hospital. He was charming and their flight was upgraded. Ugh. Ugh. In Thailand, they arrive at a small, less than luxurious hotel. Can't we do better than this, Jack?
Surely.
Grace asks.
Surely.
It's time to wake up, Grace. Jack responds.
What?
The dream is over. You should have chosen Millie. You really should have. You sold your soul to me and Millie. It's too late, far too late for you both. What do you want? You and Millie. Grace now realizes she has no money, no contacts, and no options. Her life and the life of her sister are in these man's hands. It was almost easy for him. I'll let you know a secret. He says, what? Responds Grace. There is no housekeeper. What? Hey, literati, Kari here. This is a reminder that to listen to full episodes of our show, you must be a member on Patreon. But don't worry about it. Membership is free. Visit patreon.com/LitSocietyPod to sign up. Now, if you don't have Patreon and you absolutely don't want it, that's fine. You can also become a member on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. But for the most benefit, you must be a member on Patreon. And again, Patreon membership is free. Visit patreon.com/LitSocietyPod. See you over there.
And until next time, readers, read something.